Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So I am really close to decorating for autumn. I know, I don't know what's happened this year. Last year I think I did it in September and it's actually really frustrating me that I've not done it. My husband's been away quite a bit just lately and I think the majority of the decorations are actually up in the loft, whereas last year I had them in the garage. I could just get them myself. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to style up this quite garish looking stack of pumpkins. I bought this from Home Bargains for $9.99. I do love kind of the shape, but it's just not my taste. So I went to Homebase the other day, just looking for really cheap options of paint. And there were a few companies where I'm presuming the packaging is changing or discontinued line, but I found a load of tester pots for 50p each, which I was really impressed with. So I got these two from Country Living and they're called Brown Shrimp, which is quite a strange name, Brown Shrimp. I got those, and then I got Monotones by House Beautiful, and I got Back to Nature, so all fairly neutral sort of tones. So I think I might go for Monotones, and then I'll see how we go. I might do I don't know, maybe one of them or two of them, or maybe all three different colours. I'm going to see how it goes, but I think I'm going to start off with this one because obviously I need some sort of base. Now normally I would use a primer, but this is, I don't know if you can hear, it's quite rough, so I'm really hoping that this paint is actually going to stick to it. Let's get a knife to open. Actually, let's get a spoon. And this also lights up as well, which I was quite impressed with. Oh, that's a really lovely colour. Let me show you. Really nice sort of natural colour. So I'm just going to go over, let's take the price tag off. I'm just going to go over lightly to begin with, just to give it kind of like an even sort of coat. I think this is such a good idea for taking something that you like the shape of but isn't necessarily your colour, and you can make it your own, which I think is really important. Not everything in a shop is exactly how you would like it to be, and it doesn't always mean that it's got to stay that way. So yeah, I'm all up for changing things around. I think what I will probably do with this as well is cover it in Mod Podge. I do have something that I bought from Florida, which is like an outdoor sort of wooden sign. But it's so beautiful, I don't want it to get ruined. So I think I'm going to cover that in Mod Podge as well. If you don't know what Mod Podge is, it's a little bit like PVA, but it's a little bit more durable, and it creates a seal essentially. You can get all different kinds of Mod Podge. I think the one I've got is a matte finish. You can get gloss. I think you can get ones with glitter in them. Yeah, there's loads, and it's more expensive than PVA, but it's more durable than PVA. So if you're using it for something like this that you want to remain outside and you want it to be protected, I definitely advise Mod Podge. It's looking really white. Yeah, it's looking quite white, isn't it? Let's hope it dries a bit darker. And then what I was thinking about doing is where there's the grooves in the pumpkin on this, I was thinking about adding some sort of brown tones to accentuate the lines of the pumpkin. So I do love doing things like this. I am actually going to a friend's tonight. We're just going to have like a crafting evening. I am in the process at the moment of designing and upscaling a bedroom makeover for both of my daughters. Why I chose to do both at the same time, I don't know. I think there is logic to it. My eldest daughter is having my youngest daughter's bed. We're getting her a new bed, and I need to cover the headboard and things. So I've got that to do. I've made a canvas so far. I actually used some items from the scrap store. Don't know if you have a scrap store near you, but the friend actually I'm meeting works at a scrap store. So it's quite handy really, because I get to know sort of things that are coming up or due in, which is always really handy. But yeah, you find some amazing things there, and it's just basically what companies donate, and yeah, you have a yearly membership. Ooh. And yeah, it's just basically stuff that's been donated from businesses that you can reuse. So I use the scrap store quite a lot, and yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, I'm just going over this. It's actually covering really, really well, but I think that is because it's kind of got that rough texture to it, which has saved me a job of having to prime it. Already, I think this just looks so much better. I'm quite surprised actually that this paint has come out as light as it has. I wasn't expecting it to be this light. But we'll see how it dries. Hopefully it will dry a little bit darker. So outside, a bit of a house update. Outside we had loads of plants from our old house, and we bought some new ones that went in the big planters around the border of the garden. And basically, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but basically they all caught a disease. They all died. We're probably talking, I don't know, nearly £1,000 worth of plants from the old property and new bought ones. So frustrated. They all died, caught this whatever disease it was. So we made the hard decision to pull all of them out, because we left them quite a while hoping that they would come back to life, but obviously they didn't. So yeah, we've been looking at plants for quite a while, and I just said to my husband, I'm not willing to spend money on more plants that are potentially going to die. So the Amazon Prime Deals Day came up, and they had loads of outdoor faux plants on offer. I mean, how much they're on offer, I don't know. So yeah, they arrived, and I was gonna say I planted them this morning, but they're not plants, but you know what I mean. I dug holes and put them in. But yeah, outside is a bit of a project. I think it's probably gonna have to wait till next year now. But yeah, the garden has just been neglected a little bit, and yeah, it just looked really, really, really bare. And now it's got the faux plants in. I'm actually really pleased. They actually look quite realistic. I'm quite shocked. And yeah, I keep looking this way because I'm looking at the garden. But yeah, I think they look lovely. So yeah, that was a little project I quickly did this morning. So what I think I'm going to do now is let this dry. It will need another coat. Right, I've decided while my giant pumpkin is drying, I would give this a coat of Mod Podge. So this is what Mod Podge looks like. Like I said, this one is a matte based one. It's water-based glue, sealer and finish. So it's a little bit, how would I describe it? I'd describe it between PVA and a varnish slash sealant. It basically looks like PVA glue. And I'd say it smells like PVA as well, actually. So I'm just going to give this all a complete coat over the wood. If you watch my videos regularly, you would know I bought this in America. In America, they have giant porches and this probably wouldn't get wet. Obviously they do have rain and their storms, but I'd say majority of their homes out there have a porch that is covered. Obviously sometimes we do in this country, but sadly mine, well actually I say that mine is covered to a degree, but if you know the UK, our rain can come in at weird angles and yeah, it can get something that you've got on your porch can still get covered in rain. So I'm not prepared to take any risks. I bought this in the US. Honestly, this was $12.99. Still can't get over it was that price. And I just love it. Absolutely love it. I love having something that no one else has got, apart from people out in the US. I mean, as in like here, nobody's gonna have this. And I love it. Absolutely love it. So I just want to protect it, make sure that it's sealed and that it can go outside and it's not going to get wrecked, basically. So the same as PVA glue, this will dry completely clear. There will be no, I say it's matte, and I was going to say there's no sheen to it, but actually there is a little bit, but it's not glossy or anything like that. But yeah, I love this sign. And I love the fact that it was $12.99. Honestly, if you'd seen my Florida vlogs, you would have seen when I purchased this. But I remember seeing it in the shop and seeing that it was $12.99. Well, first of all, there was two. I absolutely love this one. And I saw it and saw that it was $12.99 and I was like, that is coming home with me. I don't care how I get it in my suitcase, it's coming home with me. And I'm so glad I did, because I love it. Honestly, I know I keep saying it, but I said to my husband, I say to him all the time, but I just said to him the evening, I am really, really, really missing America at the moment. I don't know, I went into Hobbycraft the other day and just like, American shops just knock spots off every single shop that we have in the UK, and it's sad when I know the sorts of things that I could buy in the US, and what we have here is just so limiting. And the great thing with this, a bit like PVA, it doesn't really matter how you put it on or if it's messy, because it dries clear. Okay, that's got a full coat now. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry as well, and then come back to everything hopefully today, but if not, it will be tomorrow. Right, I'm back to my pumpkins. It's been quite a while now since I have done a second coat of this, and yeah, I thought that we would try aging this a little bit. So all I've got is some brown paint on a bit of kitchen roll, and then I'm just going to try aging in between, kind of like the crevices of the pumpkin. Can you see? I'm just going to try and give it a bit of an aged look, I think, if we can. I hope that it's not too noisy. I've got the washing machine on and the tumble dryer, so I've literally got bare minimal paint on this brush, and I've used this same bit of paint now for quite a while. It's still coming off. I don't want it majorly showing up. I just want it to give it a little bit of character rather than it just being plain cream. So I don't know if you can see. I think it's so much better. It's just pulling out those lines in between the grooves of the pumpkin. I'm going to try and wipe that bit off. I don't know if you can see. It's just a bit too much for me. Let's see if we can wipe some of that off. Yeah. There's a few other bits that have caught the paintbrush quite dark as well. Don't want much paint on here at all. It's literally just to give it a little bit of character, aging it slightly. And yeah, the good thing is that these are water-based paints, so it's easy, just kind of wash off. And yeah, can you see? It's like bare minimal paint, but I just feel accentuating those grooves a little bit. Right, here it is. I love it. Just aged it a little bit. Doesn't look brand new. So what I think I'm going to do now is leave this little guy to dry completely, and then I'm going to go with Mod Podge, so it will be completely waterproof and we can go outside. I'm really pleased. Right, I am going to go over this now. Last thing to do, cover it with a little bit of Mod Podge. This is just going to protect it, protect also the paint. Oh my gosh, that was glued tight, and give it a protective seal, and then this can go outside and the paint should stay intact throughout our glorious British weather that we have. I think what I'm going to do is put you on a little bit of a time lapse, and then we'll get this done a lot quicker.